And while Washington awaits the results of the CIA leak investigation, the Senate will take another look at White House counsel Harriet Miyer's qualifications for the Supreme Court. The nominee was on Capitol Hill again Wednesday as the Senate Judiciary Committee waited for her to turn in revised answers to their questionnaire. The committee told Myers that her initial answers were incomplete and she had until midnight Wednesday to submit more information, particularly on her knowledge of constitutional law. More than 2 million homes and businesses are still without power, and supplies remain scarce in Florida 3 days after Hurricane Wilma devastated the state. Officials are urging residents to stay patient as they face long lines for food, water, and gas. In Miami, even FEMA supplies are running low and have completely run out at one distribution center. In Cancun, thousands of tourists are still stranded with very few options to get home. People on chartered tours are leaving first, but there are only 6,000 seats a day out of that country. Israeli warplanes fired missiles into the Gaza Strip today, just hours after a suicide bomber killed 5 people in a crowded Israeli market. The Palestinian militant group Islamic Jihad claimed responsibility for Wednesday's bombing. The Israeli military is in its 3rd day of airstrikes in Gaza to stop militants from firing rockets into Israel. Meanwhile, Iran's president said Wednesday that Israel should be, quote, wiped off the map. The comments led to protests by Britain, France, and Spain. A fire in the detention area of the Amsterdam airport killed at least 11 people this morning. 15 others were injured, and survivors have been quoted as saying that the guards were too slow to realize the seriousness of the situation. Now, these cells are typically used to house drug smugglers and illegal immigrants. Now here's a look at some other stories making news early today in America. A small plane was forced to land on its belly at McClellan Air Park in Sacramento, California last night. Officials say the emergency landing sparked a small fire. Emergency crews immediately doused the plane with foam. No one was hurt. In Clifton, Virginia, 10 horses died after a massive fire tore through a barn yesterday morning. Fire officials say that a neighbor called 911 after seeing the barn completely engulfed in the flames. Investigators have yet to determine the cause. And a Dallas cab driver has been found guilty of an unthinkable crime. Listen to this. He was caught on security video sprinkling his own dried feces over pastries at a supermarket. Store management became suspicious when customers complained that the baked goods smelled and tasted like manure. The man says that he meant it as a joke. His joke could land him up to 20 years behind bars. Now to a much better story in Washington. Well, it's not better, but it's much more lighthearted. In Washington, D.C., animal control officers were called in to remove a deer that had strolled into a clothing store yesterday. The store manager says that the buck just got into a frenzy after getting itself stuck in a fitting room. Look at him go there. The officers tranquilized the deer and then removed it from the store without incident. So no one hurt. No. Probably a little a few hoof marks on the walls.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, we'll go with that. That's good.
But other than that, everything fine.
That's good.
Well, what about on your end? I hear something about a beta lurking around.
Yeah, brush up on your Greek alphabet. We are one letter deeper. Tropical storm Beta. Let's go right ahead and take a look at the 23rd tropical storm of the 2005 Atlantic season. We continue to shatter records with these storms. This one is about 75 miles south of San Andres Island and about 140 miles east-southeast of Bluefields, Nicaragua. It's going to be a major rainmaker for the folks in western Panama, Costa Rica, and Nicaragua over the next couple of days here. Here's the system. 40-mile-an-hour winds moving northwest at 5 miles an hour. This is the path, expecting it to make landfall late Friday, early Saturday in central Nicaragua. So there's the system there. Nationally speaking, we are seeing some wet weather in parts of western Texas. We also have not one but 2 disturbances that will affect parts of the interior west and then later in the day the actual western coast. So we're going to see some showers there. 69 will be the high today in Denver. Lots of sunshine. New York, partly cloudy, and 51. As far as your current temperatures out west this morning, 40 degrees in Seattle, 52 in Reno, currently at 61 in Los Angeles. That's a look at your national forecast and your regional currents. Here's a look at the weather right where you are. Today, we will need the umbrellas for some folks. As you take a look, you'll notice lots of clouds. Medford, Oregon, a high there of 57 degrees. And as you head into parts of Nevada, we will need to get those umbrellas out as we are expecting to see some showers. And that is your early today weather. Christine?
All right, Elise, thanks. The world's largest automaker faces another investigation over its accounting practices. Your early morning business headlines are straight ahead. Plus, Harry Potter reveals which actress that he'd like to bewitch. You're watching Early Today.
Trust. It's everything. Nobody hands out trust. Talent is one thing. Combine talent with people you trust, and you will walk on that court with a level of respect no one can match.
Ask your financial advisor about the Hartford Mutual Funds, offered by the Hartford, a company built on 194 years of trust. Request a complete prospectus with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing or sending money.
Are you at risk for osteoporosis? Keep listening for a special free offer from Actonel. My mother always said, don't slump, or you'll get your grandmother's hump. That hump wasn't a slump. It was tiny fractures caused by osteoporosis. Prescription Actonel once a week helps prevent postmenopausal osteoporosis to help you fight fracture. Want to know if you're at risk? Visit actonelquiz.com and take the free risk assessment quiz. And you'll receive a personalized report in the mail to share with your doctor.
You should not take Actonel if you have low blood calcium, severe kidney disease, or cannot sit or stand for 30 minutes. Follow dosing instructions carefully. Stop taking Actonel and tell your doctor if you experience difficult or painful swallowing, chest pain, or severe or continuing heartburn, as these may be signs of serious upper digestive problems.
Actonel can't unslump a hump, but it can help fight fractures. Visit actonelquiz.com or call 1-800-366-3832. Talk to your doctor to find out if Actonel is right for you and help fight fracture with Actonel.
Ford product engineers work hard. Anybody can see that. Since they need to be with the cars, we took out their desk phones and extended the workplace with Sprint Business. It's helping us shorten the time from concept to showroom, and it's easy to reach them. Dan?
Dan's gonna have to call you back.
By saying yes to working from anywhere, we're building more new products faster.
With Sprint Business, you can make just about any place a workplace. Yes, you can.
Good morning. Welcome back to Early Today. I'm Christine Johnson. Here's some of your top headlines this morning. Special Prosecutor Patrick Fitzgerald is expected to announce any indictments in the CIA leak case by Friday. A grand jury must decide by then whether to indict anyone in the probe. A jury says the New York Port Authority was negligent in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing that killed 6 people. The jury decided that the Port Authority did not properly guard and maintain the World Trade Center parking garage, where terrorists set off explosives in a rental van. And millions in Florida are still waiting for power 3 days after Hurricane Wilma pounded the state. Supplies are scarce, and residents are being forced to wait in long lines for food, water, and gas. Now here's an early look at how Wall Street will kick off the day. The Dow lost 32 points Wednesday, ending the day at 10,344. The S&P dropped 5 points. The Nasdaq dropped 9. In overseas trading, Tokyo's Nikkei gained 22 points, but in Hong Kong, the Hang Seng dropped 77. Some disappointing earnings news and some nervousness over the upcoming holiday shopping season brought stocks down on Wall Street Wednesday. While Boeing reported its third quarter earnings more than doubled, its stock dropped almost $2 a share. The jet maker's earnings missed analysts' expectations by nearly 20 cents a share. And there's more trouble at GM. The Securities and Exchange Commission has subpoenaed the car maker in an investigation into pension and health care benefits. The SEC also says that it is probing certain transactions with part supplier Delphi. Northwest Airlines says that it may replace senior flight attendants on international flights with lower-paid regional workers. The Wall Street Journal reports the outsourcing would start if a deal cannot be reached with the flight attendants' union over wage and benefit cuts. The National Association of Realtors says existing home sales remained at their second highest level ever in September. Demand was bolstered by hurricane evacuees searching for housing. A Commerce Department report on new home sales will be one of 3 key reports on the economy due out today. Wall Street will also be watching a report on September durable goods and last week's jobless claims. Finally now, looking for a new place to hit the slopes? How about the desert? A 32,000 square foot indoor ski resort is set to open in the United Arab Emirates next month. In sports this morning, Chicago celebrating. Baseball fans finally get to whoop it up as the White Sox bring home the World's Championship for the first time since 1917. We'll have your early morning sports headlines straight ahead.
Expect chilly eastern temperatures and some western showers today. Your regional forecast is moments away. You're watching Early Today.
I'm full-blood American Indian, and I'm roofing the construction business for 25 years. I was on my way to work one morning, and I pulled in to get some gas, and a man approached me. He was looking for new partners in this area. It's every man's dream to have a business of his own. I started noticing when I tried to get credit, I couldn't get credit. When you trust somebody like that, and they come along and then they take your identity for personal gain, it's really devastating. I'm trying to get my credit back on track, and I spend a lot of time on the website of True Credit.
Log on to TrueCredit.com and get unlimited credit reports and scores from all 3 credit bureaus. Plus, daily credit alerts to keep you on top of any changes. Order online now and receive $25,000 in identity theft coverage at no additional cost.
It's very easy to navigate the website. True Credit's 3-in-1 credit report. It's easy to understand. Everybody should check their credit at least once a month. I use True Credit every day. I'm making a lot of progress. True Credit's like a partner that I never had. I'm a True Credit customer for life.
You must be so excited.
Yeah. Actually, I've been wanting to talk to you about my life insurance.
I figured you'd want to make sure it's up to date. One thing I think you should look at.
There are times in life when you could really use expert financial advice. For more than 145 years, Northwestern Mutual and its products have quietly earned a most enviable reputation.
Might be your best option.
Yeah, that's a great
Isn't it time you had a quiet conversation of your own? Northwestern Mutual Financial Network. The Quiet Company.
For a gun crime, and your family serves a sentence with you.
Good morning. If you're just waking up, this is Early Today. And in sports, Chicago White Sox fans finally have reason to celebrate. Their team captures its first World Championship in 88 years. Here's NBC's Fred Rogan with an early look at all your sports headlines.
Good morning. For the first time since 1917, Chicago White Sox are world champs. Game 4 of the World Series, and here we go. To Houston, Astros tried to avoid the sweep. Scoreless in the 6th. Sacks full for Jason Lane. Freddie Garcia struck him out. Astros certainly had their chances. Still scoreless in the 8th. Astro closer Brad Lidge on the mound. Jermaine died base hit up the middle. Willie Harris scored 1-0 White Sox, and that was a big run. To the bottom of the 8th, Astros had a runner on 3rd. Jose Vizcaíno broken bat grounder. Juan Uribe bang play threw him out at 1st and ended the inning. Now bottom 9, still 1-0 Sox. Chris Burke fly ball with 1 out and a runner at 2nd. Uribe tracked it down, and watch this, leaned into the crowd and made the diving grab. Unbelievable play. That was out number 2, and that led to this.
Tying run at 2nd, 2 out. Palmeiro over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
For the the first time in 88 years, the White Sox are World Series champs. They swept the Astros with a 1-0 win. Talk about history. The Sox won it in 1917. Then shoeless Joe Jackson and the infamous Black Sox threw their series in 1919. Their curse can now rest in peace. The White Sox are world champs.
Chicago fans, they be waiting for this for so long, and they be so much patient with them. I think making this thing happen for them is great.
It means a lot, not only to us in the clubhouse, but to the organization, to the fans, to the city.
The whole city suffered, and both sides. You got two baseball teams, and no one's done it in 88 years. And I'm just honored to be on the team that did it, because we'll go down in history now.
Congratulations to the Chicago White Sox. That's your early look at sports on Early Today. I'm Fred Rogan.
Which legend of Zorro star refused to seal their relationship with a kiss? We'll have your early morning entertainment headlines straight ahead. Plus, just in time for Halloween, a Colorado farmer who's going the distance with his patch-grown projectiles. You're watching Early Today.
Who protects communists is not fit to wear that uniform.
The nation's top critics are raving about Good Night and Good Luck.
Our next show is about Senator McCarthy.
Rolling Stone calls it an electrifying movie event. George Clooney triumphs.
Somebody's going to go down.
The New York Times says, see it now.
Are you and I a target?
The New York Post proclaims, by far this year's smartest American film.
Okay, fellas, here we go.
And Newsweek declares, one of the best movies of the year.
We will not walk in fear. Good night and good luck.
Rated PG. Now playing.
Hello. Try a delicious apple. Contains all the knowledge of the universe.
Look, I know you're Satan. If I eat this apple, we're gonna have to start wearing clothes and worrying about things like tax brackets and counting carbs. So, no thanks.
Hindsight is easy. It's thinking ahead that's hard. But that's how Liberty Mutual serves our customers and why we're one of the world's leading insurance companies.
One more reason eDiets.com can work for everybody.
With eDiets.com, I weigh myself in the privacy of my own home. With another plan I tried, I had to weigh myself at a meeting in front of lots of other people. Then my friend suggested eDiets.com, and now I weigh myself when it fits my schedule, like after the kids go to bed. I enter my weight online, and based on my progress, I get an updated meal plan and shopping list for the next week, instantly. It works for me.
Put eDiets.com to work for you. Log on now or call 877-YOUR-DIET and lose 10 pounds in 5 weeks.
You're a generation that gave new meaning to the meaningful relationship. And we can relate to that. We are the personal advisors of Ameriprise Financial, the next generation of American Express financial advisors. We'll work with you one-to-one, face-to-face, from day one, to help you get to what's next in your life.
Two weather disturbances will make for cloudy and cool, wet conditions out west today. In Seattle, patchy but dense morning fog, then increasing clouds throughout the day. We're looking for some rain tonight, a high there of 59 degrees. In San Francisco, mostly cloudy today with a chance of rain, a high of just 65 degrees. And in Los Angeles, cloudy with that morning fog, patches of drizzle tonight, high of 68. And if you're watching us on KRNV News 4 in Reno, Nevada, show some town pride at the Nevada Day Celebration Carnival in Carson City. Enjoy an evening of fun rides and live music at the park. And that's your Pacific event of the day. Christine?
Thank you, Elise. Now let's get an early look at this morning's headlines and entertainment. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire will be out next month, so it's time to catch up with the now 16-year-old star of the films, Daniel Radcliffe. He is no child star anymore. No, Daniel is learning how to drive. He's even thinking about girls. He says that he's got a major crush on actress Scarlett Johansson. As for the Potter films, Daniel says that he'll star in the 5th, but after that, he's not so sure. Next month, he's off to Australia, by the way, to shoot his second non-Potter movie. Janet Jackson has finally responded to allegations made by her former brother-in-law that she secretly gave birth to a daughter 18 years ago. She released a statement that simply says, quote, "I do not have a child, and all allegations saying so are false." Finally now, according to Catherine Zeta-Jones, she wouldn't allow Michael Douglas to kiss her for 9 months after their first date. She says that she held back to keep him interested. Obviously, looks like it worked. The couple were married 5 years ago and have 2 children now.
Unlike Janet Jackson, who has none.
Who says she doesn't have any.
Just clarify.
I know, that rumor kind of, what you said was an old rumor. It's been rumored
going on
for years. But she denies it. So, and Catherine Zeta-Jones says playing hard to get is the best thing to do.
Apparently it works.
Snag a man. All right, this comes to us now from KUSA 9 News in Denver, where a farmer has found an explosive way to kick off Halloween festivities. And there you go. The man scrounged up parts to build a pumpkin cannon on the back of an old farm truck. The massive cannon is powered by compressed air and can launch the gourds for more than half a mile.
I said it before, and I have to say it again. What goes through your mind when you're like, you know, I think I could build this cannon and it'll shoot the pumpkins really far away?
I always wanted one as a kid. That's all I can say. I'm Christine Johnson, and this is Early Today.
There's more good news for those with arthritis pain. According to a recent survey, orthopedic doctors prefer Aleve over other leading brands for effective relief of minor arthritis pain. Ask your doctor about the good news. Ask your doctor about Aleve.
When it comes to holiday deals, it's gotta be big. So get to Big Lots now and play big during our $10 toy closeout event. Toys you really want, now just $10 each. If you want to save big, it's gotta be Big Lots.
You're about to see a meeting of one of the most powerful financial organizations in the world. It's backed by the resources and the credit rating of the world's largest wealth management firm. And it's meeting today to answer the most important question on its agenda.
So how am I doing?
Wealth management at UBS. From wealth preservation to lending and investment. You and us. UBS.
The adventure begins November 7th, only on Today. Where in the world is Matt Lauer?
A scientist from Serbia has discovered an ancient pyramid in Bosnia. He said the hill is about 2,300 feet high and includes sandstone slabs 17 feet below the surface. He claims it was built by the people who were the first inhabitants of the Balkans. And he plans to use satellite imagery and radar to prove that it's a Bosnian pyramid devoted to the sun. For all of you sausage lovers out there, the Sausage Festival in Hungary is the event for you. Known as Europe's largest festival, the event attracted a record 70,000 people. The challenge of the day, though, was to knead, mix, and mince 2.5 miles worth of meat. Participants filled 22 pounds of meat in 2 hours. A ghost pumpkin is the perfect ghoul decoration for this weekend's Halloween party. Look at this. White is the new in color for Halloween pumpkins. The so-called Casper jack-o'-lanterns are this year's popular treat. They grow in eerie albino white, stripped of the normal orange color, but they still have the orange flesh on the inside. One other difference, they do cost a little more than the orange ones as well. I saw those at my local farmer's market, and they called them Cinderella pumpkins, not Casper pumpkins, but they're very nice, but they are expensive.
Are they really?
Yeah, but they're neat. I like.
Did you see one all carved up? Did it look cool?
No, they were just all whole pumpkins, and we actually made a little Cinderella carriage out of it. So,
oh,
yeah,
very
it was
nice.
Really cute. I didn't. My babysitter did. She's the artistic one. Time now for an early look at some of the stories that will fall throughout the day here on NBC. A final report is due from the independent panel investigating the role of private companies in the UN's controversial Oil for Food program. The report is expected to outline more than 2,500 companies that bribed Saddam Hussein's regime. In New Orleans, residents of the heavily damaged Lower Ninth Ward will be allowed to visit their homes by controlled buses. Residents, however, are not allowed to stay after dark because of the city curfew. And the front seats of every bus in Detroit's public transit system will be draped with black ribbons today in honor of civil rights leader Rosa Parks. All day long, you can stay on top of the very latest developments in those stories and others as they break on MSNBC. Tonight, be sure to watch Brian Williams with NBC Nightly News. Finally, here's a look what's coming up later this morning on the Today Show. As we wait for an announcement of possible indictments in the CIA leak probe, we'll take a look at the grand jury process. And California's First Lady, Maria Shriver, will be on to discuss the 2005 Governor and First Lady's Conference on Women and Families. Keep it on this channel for continuing local news, weather, sports, and more. I'm Christine Johnson. Thanks for watching early today. Just your first stop of the day today on your NBC station. Have a great day.
Partly sunny and mild with highs in the upper 50s.
Introducing Med Advantage from Regence Blue Shield. If you're eligible for Medicare or about to enroll, you need to know that Medicare alone isn't enough. That's why Regence Blue Shield offers Med Advantage. Because the decision you make now about health care will have a huge impact on your continuing quality of life. Med Advantage puts a cap on your annual maximum out-of-pocket expense. Medicare doesn't. With Med Advantage, you get coverage for preventative dental and routine vision, something Medicare leaves out. Med Advantage allows you to choose your own doctor. There's virtually no Medicare paperwork, and you even get worldwide emergency coverage. Medicare alone just can't keep up. Call now for free information about Med Advantage, and you'll also get this free road atlas. So don't settle for Medicare alone. Get all the facts and choose the Med Advantage plan that helps make the road ahead worry-free. From Regence Blue Shield.